going to be everybody singing. One more extra song. Please open your hymnals, and you can stay seated if you want, or you can rise in body or spirit to sing number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In.
Welcome to the start of our sanctuary services for the new church year. My name is Magdalene Lindeberg, and I'm your celebration associate this morning. May we gather today to nurture our connections, seek inspiration, and embrace change. Welcome is our theme for September, and as you may have noticed, the beautiful letters which were made by some of our members who attended Unirondac over the Labor Day weekend. So thank you all who contributed to these beautiful letters. May we be welcomed by this space and by one another. May we welcome old friends and new faces, and welcome the changing season as we move from summer into fall. One reminder, I would like to acknowledge that we each arrive here in different bodies. Some find it easy to be still. Others feel more comfortable standing in the back of the sanctuary, coming in and out, or wiggling in their seats. All are welcome. And now, before I light the chalice, let's take a moment to greet those around you. Please join me in saying the chalice lighting words that are printed in your order of service. May we light this chalice for the warmth of love, the light of truth, and the energy of action.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. So happy to see you again, to see new faces. I missed you. I was at the opening of the Tibetan Library yesterday, leading a discussion group in the afternoon, and feeling the incredible amount of energy of life and love that was just there. And that's what I feel here today. So, good morning again. My opening words are by Jay Kaiser, a longtime legal member from Iowa. This morning we will be remembering the gifts of creation and the waters of our community that bind our lives together near and far. This ceremony is a reminder of our connection to the earth, to its creatures, to one another, and to all that it has been, and all that we do to ease our time here together. This morning we enter a vision again from a different place in our individual and our collective stories. Today we remember the beginning of all the spirits and all the faiths of life that hover over the waters, blessing it as a source of life for all of us. Water reminds us of our limits, that we must honor it. It's a precious resource. We must protect it, for without it, our lives and communities could not be sustained. Water reminds us of what refreshes and renews our bodies and souls spiritually and physically. And water reminds us of our relationship to other creatures, the animals, the plants, the humans, everything, and reminds us of the things that we thirst for most of all. We remember that we are all connected, and it is our responsibility to share this earth and its resources with all beloved creation. This morning, as those who brought water in their hands and in their hearts, carry it not to receive, but to offer a symbol of gratitude. May we listen to God's voice in the spirit of life in the waters. The waters from all our communities unite us once again, remind us of our own lives, remind us of our connection to one another, and remind us that it is a primary source of life.
I invite you to rise in body or spirit as we sing hymn number 100, I've Got Peace Like a River. I believe there are some friends who are going to help with our collection baskets. If you look in your order of service, you will see our Side with Love. We're going to be collecting items for the Southside Community Center all month. If you've got something now, you can look for it there. We're going to do the first 3 verses. And friends, if you'd like to move your bodies, Sue here is going to lead us in some motions that we can do.
Peace friends. I'm so filled with joy to be here with you this morning. For those of you that are here for the first time, my name is Emily Richards. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the Director of Congregational Life and Religious Exploration. This is the time during our service each week where I'm going to invite up any children, youth, family, or adults that would like to sit right up here on the steps with me this morning. So if you'd like to come on up for our story, you can take a seat right here on these steps. Come on up, friends. And there is no maximum age here, so all are welcome to come and sit on the steps with us. Hi, friends. Oh, hi. So good to see so many of you. Come on up and have a seat. So, this is a special day for us here at the First Unitarian Society of Ithaca. We do a special ceremony called a water communion. And we use this ritual to begin our year to remind ourselves that we are all connected, we are all friends, right? And one of the gifts that we give to each other is to welcome one another. And we're going to get to that in a little bit. So this month, we're going to be exploring how we share the gift of welcome. And with that in mind, I actually would welcome some help to open my wonder box here. Guthrie, could you open the wonder box for me? All right, can you show everyone what you found inside? Yeah, what is it? It's water. It's a water droplet. You can hold on to that. A big water droplet. So I'm going to need some help this morning, friends, in telling a story. Are there people here that would be willing to help me tell a story? Okay, great. All right. So Madeline here is also helping me, and what's going to happen is she's going to hand out some elements of the story. And if you choose to help and you get an element, you might be asked to stand in a certain place, to hold your picture up, or to move about the space in a certain way, okay? So here are the things that we have, friends. To begin with, there is one drop of water in there, Madeline, if you can find it for me, that says the word Higgins on it. Who would like to be Higgins? Gwendolyn, do you want to be Higgins? Okay. All right. Are you ready? Okay, so we have Higgins. So some other things that I have here is I need some grass. I could have 1 or 2 patches of grass. Yeah, I've got 2 patches of grass. Thank you so much. All right, I have a couple flowers. I could have 1 or 2 bunches of flowers here. All right, yeah. I have a bunch of flowers. You want flowers too, Stella? Yeah, okay, I've got 2 of them. I've got a couple of trees. Anyone want to be a tree? Yeah, Helen wants to be a tree. Owen, you want to be a tree? Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to invite, so this area in the front here, where you see the carpet in front, this is our valley, and this is where our story takes place. So friends, if you have some grass or a tree or some flowers, I invite you to kind of spread yourself out in this valley. You can go all the way over there on the wood if you want, because this is where our valley is. All right, so then the other things that I need is I need 2 people to be the wind. Who wants to be the wind? All right, Allie and Guthrie want to be the wind. Wind? 1 wind? I should have 2 winds. That's right. Wind is invisible. Are we missing one? That's all right. We can have wind sounds. So then the other things that I have is I have a whole bunch of more water droplets because Higgins doesn't live in this valley alone. There are many water droplets in the valley. So you want to hand out some more water droplets? Who else wants a water droplet? Okay, so I've got a bunch of people here who want water droplets. All right. All right. No? Okay. We have one over here. We got a water droplet. In the wall, we got one. Water droplets may have a little repeated line, so if you really want to say something, this might be the role for you. Anyone else need a water droplet? Do you have something, Guthrie? You're waiting. So then the last, oh, you're the wind, right? So then the last thing that I have is I need some, a stream. And we have some streamers there for the stream. You can grab a streamer, yeah. There's a couple of them there. Fred, do you want to help me? Do you want to, oh, you got the wind. All right. Yeah, you're going to go with it at the end. All right, does everyone have an element of the story that wants an element of the story? This includes everyone in the space, because I have a bunch more water droplets here. All right. So this is what I need to start my story. Are we ready? So, Higgins, can you stand up here in the middle for me? So like I said, can my plants can kind of spread out along the valley? So you could come all the way over here if you wanted. You could walk over the, yeah, that's exactly right, thank you. Yeah, you could walk kind of over there. We're gonna spread out along the valley. Our plants, our water droplets, you can be kind of anywhere you want in the valley. And the wind and the stream, for right now, you're just gonna sit and listen, all right? All right, here we go. So this story is by Christopher Buse. Once upon a time, there was a drop of water named Higgins. Higgins was no ordinary drop of water. They were a drop with a dream. Higgins lived in a valley where it had not rained in a very, very, very long time. So all of the lovely green grass, can you show the green grass? So everyone out there, can you show them the green grass? All of the green grass was turning brown. Oh no, the grass has turned brown. All of the beautiful flowers, where are the flowers? The beautiful flowers. There we go. They were wilting and drooping. There we are. That's the flowers are wilting and drooping. All of the green, tall trees, where's the tree? Had turned brown and leafless. I know, right? It's not a good time. So Higgins had a dream that one day the valley would be a beautiful place to live again. But what could they do? They were only a single drop of water. So one day, Higgins decided to travel about and tell all the other drops of water about their dream. So if you want Higgins, you can wander about and see if you can find the other drops, and you can tell them a little bit about your dream. Yeah. So now the other drops listened very patiently and politely, but no one believed that Higgins' dream would come true. So Higgins, one of them said, "Get your head out of the clouds." And another said, "You can't spend your whole life dreaming." Higgins decided that they had to do something to make their dream come true. So they decided, and they began to think and think and think. One day, they were walking by and they saw a rusty old bucket. All right, here's our bucket. So as Higgins was walking by the bucket, they got an idea. They thought, if enough of us drops get together in the bucket, there'd be enough water to sprinkle on just a few flowers and help them to grow and be beautiful once again. So eagerly, Higgins told all of the other drops about their idea, but everyone thought that Higgins was being foolish. That Higgins is nothing but a dreamer, they said. Higgins decided that they had to do something to convince the others that they were right. So they said to them, "I don't know about you." Want to repeat after me? Say, "I don't know about you." But I'm getting into the bucket. And I hope some of you will join me. Then there might be at least enough water to make the flowers grow beautiful again. So Higgins did. They ran as hard as they could. They hopped into the air and they landed with a kerplunk in the bottom of the bucket. And there they sat, just a drop in the bucket. For a long time, Higgins was very lonely. It seemed like no one was going to join them. But after a while, some of the others noticed that the grass was dying, and the flowers were wilting, and the trees were drooping, and they all agreed something must be done. Do I have a drop here? Where's another drop? All right, so there we go. Suddenly one drop said, ready? "I'm going to get in the bucket with Higgins."
I'm going to get in the bucket with Higgins.
And they leaped through the air, and they landed in the bucket, kerplunk. Then two other drops yelled. Do we have two other drops? There's one. Oh, there's one. These two, they yelled, "Wait for us!" Ready?
Wait for us.
Yes! And they hopped through the air and they landed in the bucket. Then 10 drops jumped to join. And then 20, 30, 50, and then hundreds of drops came from all around just to hop into that bucket. So if you are a drop here, you can feel free to get into the bucket. I see we're making a puddle in the bucket. Soon, the bucket was completely full of water. But there were still more drops that wanted to join, so they found another bucket. And they hopped in. And before long, there were 2 buckets, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then hundreds, and then thousands of buckets of water. I don't know, but what happens next is along came a powerful breeze. So where's my breeze? Go ahead and stand up, breeze. You can make wind noises. And the breeze blew all of the buckets over. So guys, you can swirl around the buckets if you can fit in there. Our valleys are a little crowded. And it blew the buckets over. And all of the water flowed together to make a mighty stream. So all right, stream, are you ready? Here's your streamers. And the water flowed through the valley with all of the water drops. And where it came to the grass that was once brown, the grass turned green. And where it came to the flowers that were wilting, the flowers began to bloom and be beautiful again. And where it came to the trees that were brown and leafless, suddenly they were tall and green and full of life. All right, now everyone pause right where you are. Just go ahead and pause right where you are. All of this happened because Higgins had a dream and they worked to make their dream come true. Because they knew that although they were just a drop in the bucket, enough drops in a bucket make a bucketful. And when there are enough buckets with the wind behind them, then justice will roll down like waters and love will flow like a mighty stream.
It's a stream come true.
It is a stream. It is a stream come true. Thank you. Tons of the day. That was amazing. All right. So thank you so much, friends, for helping me with my story. When we come together, we can do so much more than we can do alone. And the more that we create a place that is welcoming to all, the more we can make a difference in our own and others' lives. I'm going to ask you to return your props to Madeline as you then return to your seats. Thank you so much for helping my story come to life this morning, friends. You can give it to Madeline. Oh, thank you. You're going to be props. You're a metaphor.
Boy, that's a hard act to follow. So I'm Nancy Miller, and I'm one of the Joys and Sorrows team. And since this is our first Sunday back in the sanctuary, and we have so many new people that we're really grateful for coming through our doors, I'm going to give a little orientation about joys and sorrows and appreciations. So this is a time during our service where announcements from you all, from members and friends of First Unitarian Society of Ithaca, can announce to the community, tell the community about your joys, your sorrows, your appreciations. So a joy is a joy, a birth, a marriage, an anniversary, a milestone in your kid's life, joys that you want to share, you want the greater community to know about. A sorrow is a loss, a death of a loved one, a serious illness, and other things that you want the community to know about. An appreciation is if you see someone in the community, in members, friends, doing an outstanding job at something that happens that makes this congregation whir and become the vibrant community that we are, we'd like to hear about that as well. So there are two different ways that joys and sorrows and appreciations can be submitted to be included on Sunday. You can send notices online to Joys and Sorrows, written out at uuithaca.org by 9 a.m. on Sunday morning, or you can fill out, you can fill out a green card. There are some green cards in the pews that you can fill out, and usually there's a basket on top of that table that sits right there, and we'll make sure that in future Sundays, thanks Maddie, that in future Sundays there will be that basket. So when considering what you might say in joys and sorrows and appreciations, please note that our services are live streamed and available to the public on our YouTube channel. So, now, finally getting to joys and sorrows and appreciations. In a spirit of reverence, love, and care, we take time now to bear witness to some of the joys and sorrows and appreciations of our community, to share those events that call for our prayers and support, our praise and celebration. So, an appreciation from Carol Whitlow. I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 miles more to sing praises to all Unirondack organizers and participants who joined together to make a memorable weekend for all of us. So those of us that were there, yes. And especially to Susan Mann, Michelle Hochstetter, and Jane Kessler, who did some heavy lifts around making Unirondack happen this year. This is the first time that we've been back at Unirondack since before the pandemic. Okay, and usually after the summer, with the first joys and sorrows, that I like to go back and just reiterate a little bit of some, particularly the losses, and we've had some big losses in our beloved community this summer. So Jim Murphy died in late June after a multi-year fight against lung cancer. We offer our deepest condolences to his wife, Susan Murphy, and their family. A memorial service was held for Jim here in our sanctuary on July 22nd. We also offer our condolences to the family and friends of Martha Ferger. Boy, this brings tears, sorry. Our beloved Martha passed away on June 24th at 99 years old at Cayuga Medical Center. A memorial service was held here in the sanctuary on August 19th. There's no adequate words to describe Martha Ferger, and I'll just leave it at that. Margaret Moschak, long-term member, passed away peacefully at her home on July 9th, 2023. Also, Visna Howe Peterson passed away on July 25th at age 37 after a brief illness. He was the son of Rod Howe and Mark Peterson, who was our church administrator for many years and died in 2018. A memorial service for Visna was held on August 13th. So our condolences go out to Rod and family. Linda Loomis is at Bridges. She would appreciate cards, calls, visits. She has improved and is no longer on hospice. If you want information about how to contact her, how to go visit her, come see me. I'll be at the welcome table after the service. For those we are holding in our thoughts, in our hearts, and perhaps in our prayers, let us call these names out loud into this community, into this space of healing and hope right now. We extend loving kindness to all in our world, and let us not forget to extend loving kindness to ourselves. Today, tomorrow, and beyond, let our hands be outstretched in kindness, and let us keep showing up to our lives and each other with an open heart, no matter what. Love and courage to us all. Blessed be, and amen.
The strength of water takes on many, many forms, just as each of you has a unique and necessary strength that you bring to this community and to do the work of love. I invite you to take a moment now to drop down into the deep wellspring of your own spirit and bathe yourself in the strength that is the groundwater of your person. Are you a roaring waterfall, wearing rock away with sheer force of will? Are you a tiny drop in a crevice, breaking it open slowly and steadily? Are you buoyant, like a great salt lake, practiced at holding others aloft? Are you tenacious, like a mountain stream, finding your way down and around every obstacle that you face? Are you still and calm, like the pond at daybreak, offering radiant peace by your shores? Are you in touch with hidden depths, pulling from a vast well? Do you soothe like the steam rising from a warm cup of tea? Do you dissolve away stubborn muck like water left in a pot to soak? Do you soften and smooth the edges like a blanketing fog? Do you clear away distractions like a cleansing rain? Or do you roll with the ebb and flow like the ocean waves? Settle your mind upon that strength, the power that is yours. Draw that strength into your heart, draw it up into your soul. As we gather the many waters of this community, we need each of you, your power, your resilience, your love to make us whole.
Each week, we take an offering to sustain the important ministries and programs of this congregation and its presence in Ithaca. Giving to the plate is important. It's a symbol of our gratitude for this service and our ongoing commitment to support the work of the church. For those watching remotely, instructions for giving using your phone or computer will appear on the screen during the offertory music and below the live stream image on YouTube. If you're attending in person, our ushers will pass the plate. Please join me in reading the offertory words printed in your order of service. May these gifts bring about connection, inspiration, and engagement within these walls and beyond.
This is a reading, a water communion, done by Reverend Andrew Warmbach in St. Paul's Anglican Church in Durham, South Africa. Water is life. It is hydration, habitat, and health. Our faith traditions, our human condition, teaches us to revere this resource, to give thanks when it is abundant, and to cherish it when it is scarce. Let us rethink the nature of water. Water, like land, is a gift and a blessing to us all. Water is sacred. Let us use it responsibly. Harvest it. Reuse it. Every drop counts. Let us affirm that water is an inherent right, an absolute human right. Let us work for water justice for the world in which we live. A world in which we want inequality eradicated. Water is an absolute human right. Let us also work to change the destructive economic systems that perpetuate injustice, ensure ecological destruction, and accelerate climate change. Finally, let us celebrate the life-giving and thirst-quenching qualities of water and share it with all those who thirst. Thank you.
It starts with a drop, as we've heard, then a trickle, a burble, a rush of water bubbling towards its destination, and finally the wide, endless sea. All rivers run to the sea. Today, so many of you have brought water, soon to pour into a common bowl. Though our experiences have differed, your waters will mingle, signifying our common humanity. Today, you have come to share in this sacred community. May your hearts be filled with hope for new beginnings, a fresh start of the year in this community. And when you depart, remember to always return to our beloved community, where rivers of tears may be shed and where dry souls are watered, where your joy bubbles and enriches us all, where your life cup, we hope, will overflow, where deep in your spirit you continue to find in this place a home, welcoming you week after week after week. So let us share in the water communion.
Today we join in our annual ritual of welcome, a ritual in which we will take water from many individual sources and welcome them to come together into one large water source. Each year we're invited to bring water from the places we live, the places that hold meaning to us or the places that we have visited, and pour them into one container. A container which holds water saved from each past communion performed by this community. Water which holds the memories of the community's various shapes and forms as it has flowed from the past and into the present. Water which we will add to create new water for the future. This intermingling of sacred waters helps to remind us that we are all connected, that one of the gifts of our faith is how we welcome each other and come together to nourish each other. Just like water is connected by streams, ponds, rivers, lakes, and oceans, and nourishes the earth. The sacredness of these waters comes not from how far we have traveled to find it, but from the ways that the nourishment of water connects us all. Whether it is water from your kitchen sink, where you meditatively wash your vegetables, or a big scoop from a creek near a beloved grandparent's house, or water from a family heritage trip to the lands of your ancestors, or even a few drops from a lake in the mountains where you gathered with community to find meaning together. We welcome each source as we welcome you. As water nourishes us, we gain nourishment from the many people in this community. Today we invite you to add your water to ours, to mingle it into one another's in this community, to join in the ritual of connection and belonging. Before we begin, let us pause and honor the fact that these waters that you bring represent multitudes. They represent places, people, relationships, and experiences, emotions, and deep connection. We are going to ask you, however, to attempt to encapsulate all of that in 10 words or less. To begin with, I'm going to ask Stephanie to pour in our water gathered from rituals past, from communities who, like the rivers that flow into the ocean, are ever-changing and yet remain the same. In just a moment, we're going to invite you to come and add your water and share the significance of this water with your 10 words or less. Once we invite you to do so, we're going to ask you to travel down the outside aisles to the front, where you can share verbally or not. You can add your water to the bowl on the table or use the water provided, and then return to your seat up the middle aisle. If you are joining us remotely and would like to share about your sacred waters, please type your message into the chat, and we will have someone come forward and speak those words into this space on your behalf. We are now going to demonstrate what this looks like. Combination of waters from favorite swimming spots.
Water that almost made it to the very expensive but much treasured French drink.
Water that represents each and every one of us.
I invite you now to come forward as you feel so moved, and you can use the microphone set up on either side.
This water is from our pond that we built to support the pollinators in the local area.
This water is from the woods. This water is from the creek at our home.
My water's from the beautiful and very cold Cape Cod Bay.
Water's from our honeymoon in Santa Fe and from Unirondack.
From my hand-dug and stone-laid-up well, and the bottles from my old farm dump.
Rainwater, morning dew, bird bath, finished my 5-year book project.
Unirondack, we are back.
Water from our home in Newfield, and the bottle represents the fulfillment of giving.
I have virtual water from Beaver River and Francis Lake
part of the great community of water around Unirondack.
Water from Unirondack tastes good, looks yellow.
It's just tannins.
And canoeing with a baby.
Water from Marlborough, Vermont, home of beautiful chamber music.
Virtual water from the Blackstone River in Providence, Rhode Island, where we just moved from.
From the sacred spring-fed pond in my backyard.
From Cayuga Lake, Unirondack, UMass Amherst, tears of joy and happiness and sadness.
Last night's rain from a puddle on our deck. This water is from Ocean City, New Jersey.
From Ludington, Michigan.
If you didn't hear that, it's from Ludington, Michigan, the Great Lake, Michigan.
From our rain barrel at home, takes just a little bit on the roof to make a full rain barrel.
The Little Bighorn River with Lakota elders and 6 Mile Creek.
Water from the beautiful Adirondacks and Cooperstown, New York, Sacandaga Lake, Woods Lake, Beaver Lake, Otsego Lake, and the Susquehanna River.
From wild Alaska, inside passage, sea mammals, grizzlies, salmon, to Unirondack.
Launched our summertime fun at Eagle Lake with our grandsons and our UU friends, the Culvers.
Clear Pond.
Hi, my water is from a lovely community gathering where I held a baby goat who was only 2 days old for the first time.
From the creek behind my grandparents' house, which is now their grandparents' house.
Water from Tecanic Falls, slender yet mighty.
Not far away, North Point, Teganic Park.
The water here that I bring greetings from Chautauqua Lake and the Chautauqua Lovely Institute, you all should go to.
Water from the Atlantic Ocean, Point Pleasant Beach. Refreshing and rejuvenating visit with my best friend.
New oysters, new oysters, new Wellfleet oysters, Cape Cod.
Danby Farm Pond.
And water from our pond, winter skating, spring tadpoles, summer cattails, and summer drought.
Water from the kitchen of this church to signify my return here after decades away.
in my grandma and grandpapa's pool. Water collected from the rain.
Where would we be without it?
Water from my tiny backyard pond that produced a bumper crop of water lilies for the first time.
This is actually from the kitchen sink, but notionally this is from Cass Lake, Minnesota, where my family has had a cabin since the 1940s.
Water from our kitchen sink, but also in anticipation of the Rhine River and the Danube River, which Joyce and I hope to visit within the next few weeks.
From Beaver Lake, just add water. Under, on, frozen, life force.
This would be metaphorical water from the 10,000 lakes in Minnesota.
Nice job. These waters intermingling our joys, sorrows, travels, and connection to home are an illustration of this beloved community.
This water holds within it the power to nurture us all and holds the blessing of our hopes, our fears, our sadness, and our joys.
May it continue to be a source of renewal for each of us, for this community, and for the world.
May this water be blessed.
May this community be blessed.
And may these blessings flow onward wherever we go. Amen. Blessed be.
And it's telling
Friends, let our lives be a prayer that waters dry souls, mends broken hearts, refuses to be terrorized by the fears of this world, that seeks this world's beauty and abundance amidst carrying us also through its storms. May this be so. Blessed be.
We extinguish the flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Our service has ended. Let our true service now begin.
Sunday, please come and join us for free ice cream right in the parking lot.